YouTube, what's going on, man? We got a Hookah Anonymous video, man. Lil Durk then got denied bond the third time. So that ain't saying that he is over with for him, but it's basically saying they ain't letting him out to fight this case, which everybody kind of knew anyway. All the stuff they discussed and said, they gave plenty of reasons why. So, but they denied it again for the third time. So, shout out to Hookah Anonymous for this video, and we finna get into it.
I now have already heard that Lil Durk has been denied a bond yet again for the third time, and I would assume that at this point, it's over. And when I say over, I don't mean in the sense that he's definitely doing jail time or anything pertaining to the case as him being convicted. But it's looking like he will remain incarcerated at least until the trial date starts in October. Right. Now, I'm just confused as to why he was granted so much bond hearings in less than a year, and if he was going to be denied back to back, what was the sense in even granting him a bond hearing? And it took the new judge almost a week to come to a decision. So if he was going to be denied, what was the holdup in the first place? Now, like I stated before, Durk was denied 3 times. However, this time around, he just so happened to offer way more money and assets to contribute to his bond. In December, he was denied as he was offered $3 million in his bond package, and according to the judge, it was due to him being a flight risk. Right. Then in early May of this year, Durk and his team offered another bond package seeking release, as they offered a little more this time, but it still wasn't enough because the judge denied his bond yet again, stating that he was too much of a flight risk and a danger to the community, being that he's already facing charges of M for hire, which may put witnesses and cooperators or their families at risk.
Yep.
Why? Because he's already proved that he has enough money and power to carry things out without being directly involved. So if he has a history of that, why would they risk such a big case, giving him even more of a leeway to possibly do things if they already have him in their custody? Right. Then he also showed that he could get others to do what he says by using monetary gain, because he was also caught in a federal facility using other inmates' pins to execute three-way calls, which is prohibited within federal guidelines. So here's the thing. Everyone does that, but when the feds want you, they want you, and they will use any and every technicality to get to you. So their stance is this: if he can't follow rules while we have him in our custody, what makes you think he's going to follow our rules on the outside, where he's also considered a flight risk and already may have tried to flee from us in the beginning?
Exactly, like I said, that's where everybody's saying, "Oh no, he gonna no." Like, bro, they like I said, like Hookah said, the feds want you. The feds gonna keep you in there, and they gonna keep bringing a reason why to keep you in there. Like I said, he tried to flee the first time when they tried to get him, so they gonna keep. And like I said, he in there using other inmates' phones, stuff to do stuff, and that's against federal law as well. So they just think, I'm like, okay, if he doing this, why are we gonna let him out? No matter how much bond money he puts up, we're not gonna let the man out. Like I said, I don't wish jail upon nobody, but it sounded good to let him out. You feel me? It sounds good for Durk to be out doing this, but like I said, if he gonna continue to try to do other stuff, like, bro, you can't, bro. You fighting a case, you might as well just sit in jail and fight it, bro. Like, that's your best case scenario, man. I know Drew Williams family was trying to do everything he could to get you out, but it ain't happening.
So at first I didn't understand the phone call thing and why they were so hard on him about it, but now I do. They're just using it as an excuse to keep him in their custody. Now Durk's team was granted yet another bond hearing, but this time they opted to go with a district judge who has more authority over a magistrate judge, because they felt like the previous judge may have had it out for Durk, so they rather switch it to try their luck. This time, offering an almost $5 million bond package, which included $3 million in cash, additional real estate equity, and strict conditions like 24/7 home confinement and electronic monitoring. A ruling was supposed to be made on June 2nd, 2025. However, it took the district judge time to make his decision. When he finally did, which happened to be exactly a week later on June 9th, 2025, he would deny Lil Durk's release, making it his third time in 6 months that he has been denied. According to the district judge, who agreed with prosecutors, Durk possessed a significant flight risk and could potentially tamper with witnesses if released. They also cited his past legal issues and alleged efforts to intimidate witnesses as reasons for keeping him locked up.
That's
crazy. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because the previous magistrate judge, Judge Donahue, said basically the same thing. She pointed to Durk's alleged influence in violent circles and his decisions to leave the country after authorities arrested his co-defendant. Prosecutors argued that his freedom possessed a continued threat to public safety and undermines the integrity of the investigation. Keep in mind, I'm sure Lil Pab's mother showing up to his last bond hearing played a major part when she would go there and also tell reporters that she fears for her and her family's life if Lil Durk was released. Damn, so now that we got that part understood, let's get into a few things, but also understand that once again, this doesn't mean that Durk is guilty, because I see some people thinking that this means he's staying in jail for the case. No, he's pleaded not guilty, but was ordered to stay in jail until his trial starts.
Yeah.
Now I know he's pissed because nobody wants to stay in jail waiting in limbo, especially when you know there's no way around it because you don't have a bail. Also, his trial was initially scheduled to happen in January of this year, but for some strange reason, it was pushed all the way back to October. That's another thing that went over people's heads because I'm still trying to figure out why that happened myself. Anyway, if you pay,
they probably trying to build more against him, bro. Like I said, they not, bro. The Lil Pab killing, bro. Where they did that at, bro? It was in L.A. County, bro. What was in Beverly Hills, I think, or something like that. Just know it was where money at, and it was in L.A. They not playing that, bro. So they like, it's just unfortunate, bro. You just can't be jumping out on people in these rich neighborhoods, bro, and unalive them and killing them, bro. Like it's just, you just can't be doing that, bro. You barely could do it in the hood now, but like you definitely not doing it in the white people neighborhoods. Like I said, so bro, they trying to do everything they can to keep them in there. They probably trying to build more against them. Like it's crazy. Like I said, nobody want to see Durk in jail, like for real. But it's just the situation he put himself in. It's crazy, bro.
Pay attention to the reasoning behind each bond refusal. All of them have a common denominator, which was Durk being a flight risk.
Yeah,
as I explained to you in the beginning, even though his attorneys tried to make a good excuse as to why his name was booked on so many flights, the feds aren't stupid, and I don't understand why people feel like they are. The flight risk is and will remain to be the biggest flaw he has within his case, because according to them, he already tried to flee once. Do you think these people are going to go through the headache of spending money, gathering evidence, witnesses, cooperators, the whole 9 yards, just to risk all of that by letting him out when they already have him in custody? No. Then the charges that he's being hit with is also a problem. Just think about it. If he's already being accused of having money and power, where he's able to get people knocked off without directly being involved, why would they let him out and give him more leeway to do so? Just think about it. Let's say he was released and a witness or cooperator, or one of their family members have something happen to him. Whether Durk really had anything to do with it or not, the blame is automatically going to go on him, and it's going to look bad for the courts. And why? Because they let him out when they already had him in custody, knowing that he's fighting the type of case that he's fighting. Now, when it comes to them switching judges, I don't know what made them think that one judge was going to overrule another judge who denied him 2 times already. It was never the lyrics or music that they cared about when it came to his release, like his attorneys were focused on. The first magistrate judge, Judge Donahue, stated that he was a threat to society and a flight risk. And it don't help when you do hear songs by him and you clearly hear him rapping about putting bags on heads and etc. So this is why sometimes the things you do now could come back to bite you in the long run, whether you notice it or not. And honestly, I couldn't see one judge basically kind of like betraying another judge by overruling him on a case where the reason for holding him back actually made sense. Now, if it didn't make sense and the judge just seemed like she was being biased towards Lil Durk, then maybe the district judge would have had a little more leniency. But just think about it. What judge in their right mind is going to let someone out who's being charged with M for hire, knowing trial is months away and anything can happen if he's out, especially if the mother shows up to the hearing saying that she fears for her life. Then on top of that, disobeying federal facility rules, as small as doing 3-way calls, is enough to show that you don't care about obeying the law, even if you are in a custody. So it is what it is. I'm not sure if they'll have another bond hearing because at this point, I would assume it's done. He already had 3 and he went to the biggest judge, which is a district judge, and was still denied. So what could be next? And also keep in mind that these attorneys charge a very hefty price. So the more bond hearings you see where these attorneys have to appear, that's
Right.
more and more money being spent for nothing because he's being denied bond. So let's just wait and see what happens. This trial is set for October 14th, 2025. Anything can happen in the meantime. Maybe they'll file another motion. Maybe they'll find a loophole. Maybe more evidence will come out either against him or evidence in his innocence against the prosecutors. Who knows? All right, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment.
It's like, bro, it is they not gonna let him out, bro. It's simple. It's plain and simple as they put it out there. Why they not letting him out? I mean, I ain't saying like not fight it. You know, you're not doing your job as an attorney to not fight for your client. But like, come on, bro. It just and these judges talk, so you know they know where every judge decision was made. They talked about it. So like I said, the district judge already talked to the other one, two people. So what they thought they was gonna do? Like I said, be more lenient. Say, oh, here you go, Dirk. Like I said, don't wish jail upon nobody. But like, bro, we just gotta be smart here, bro. It's like they not doing that, bro. They not like I said, it's just too much going on, too much involved, and like I said, anything can happen. And like I said, he gonna sit in there until October 14th until when his trial start. Like I said, it's unfortunate. Like I said, hopefully, everything fall through for Dirk and he is let out. He beat the case. That's so we'll see though. Shout out to Hookah Anonymous for the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.